does puja at home, I do my Ikebana. That is, nature. I want to be with nature, and I'm always in love with nature. So that's brought me to Ikebana.
Oh-Ka-Meenakshi Devi is the first master of the Ohara school of Ikebana. She is basically a master in economics from the Andhra University, but it was her love for nature and plants that attracted her towards Mrs. Meena Ananthanarayan, who is the pioneer who brought the Ohara school of Ikebana into India. Under her tutelage, her skills were honed and she became a first master, and her brilliant demonstrations all over the world were appreciated. So Meenakshi Devi in herself is a very skilled Ikebana artist, and you can see from her demonstrations how very beautifully she has used this craft to show you very beautiful pictures of how the flowers can be placed and how they can be arranged to show you pictures of nature. To understand the essence of landscape, you have to be an avid nature lover. It was started actually by Ohara, our first grandmaster, who went off into the hills and to the forests where he observed nature very, very closely. He wanted to bring part of this picture or this vision of nature into the household. So he started the landscape style of arrangement. In the landscape arrangement that you will be seeing, nature with its mountains, with its rivers, along with the undergrowth has to be depicted. So landscape in itself could also evoke a feeling of habitat, because all your plants must belong to the same habitat. Nature, wherever you see it, would be with co-friendly plants. So therefore it has to be very strictly followed. Secondly, it has to evoke a feeling of season. It has to follow that. Either it could be a summer scene that you are depicting, or a winter scene, or even the monsoon, the beautiful monsoon season of India.
This is called Triplaris, which I brought it from Hyderabad. It's a beautiful tree. It's an Australian oak tree, I think. It's full of pink and maroon flowers. So, but this I brought 4 days back, and now it's almost everything has dropped. But still, for the sake of the color, I'm using it. Here I'm using all shippos and pin holders. For big branches, it's very convenient to use the shippos. If you want to do a good Ikebana arrangement, you have to be very, you have to observe nature, always the changing seasons and how in every season it is. When I started teaching, my students used to say how to select material, what to get, and I don't know which tree is this, how it grows and all that. But after they finished their beginner's course, they used to tell me, ma'am, always we are looking up, we are not looking down, because we have started observing nature, what is growing, what is now in flowering and what is not. You start Ikebana arrangements, you start observing nature, and that gives you that calmness, and it's a meditative effect like any other art. Nowadays, most of them they use the, foam to make the things easier. But I prefer using the shippos and the traditional way of doing it. So that here you can limit yourself, the number of materials you are using, the amount of materials you are using. Whereas if you use the shippo, the foam, to cover the foam you are forced to use more material, and which makes, it looks bulky but not the delicate touch is not there. So preservation is very important. So she takes all the pains and she researches on it, She tries out everything, how to preserve the material. Because in my friend's farm, I have cut the kale, the red kale leaves. They all said it won't last. But she tried it and she made it possible. 3 days back we have cut it, and the red kale in that arrangement is still lasting. So anything is possible if you have the will to do it. I think this should do. So, what do you think? That is enough?
Hanakanade is the invention of the 5th headmaster of the Ohara school of Ikebana. He's been deeply influenced by his grandfather, Moon Ohara, but this time he wanted to do something of his own. And if you can see these lines, they are very mathematically placed also. There are 3 basic lines that go upwards and they cross each other at 2 different places, thereby forming some kind of a triangle at the base and a triangle on top. It's a very graceful and very elegant arrangement because the beauty of each individual line is highlighted. At the same time, the base is very minimally covered, but yet creating that feeling as if these three lines have arisen from greenery and going upwards skywards. So very often anybody who wants to depict this kind of an arrangement, an artist, would make this as its base and would try to develop their own style. But Hanakanade in itself is a very beautiful and a new style of the Ohara school of Ikebana.
This is a fig branch. Here the challenge in Hanakanade is, how they cross each other and interact with each other is important. This is a fig branch. Fix it. The best thing is take the curve it takes. You try to see which way it is standing well and decide on that curve, and it makes things easier. So here this branch is standing very well like this. So I'll try to match with this some other material. This is subabul. Yesterday I found it in a garbage. So I thought these are going well with the container, so why not use it? To go with these big branches, I could only find this heliconia to match in length and the size. This is called sexy peak. Here we can trim some of the branches, some of the leaves also, so that the lines are visible. Always in Ikebana, we try to show the back side and the front side. Both are, equally beautiful. The more you prune them while cutting, you are encouraging the growth. You have to be, you have to use your discretion, what to cut and what not to cut. But cutting the material, and we are giving a new life to the material. We are bringing it home. And we are giving a new life to the material. We cover the base of the main lines. So this cabbage I have added to give more color because the brown, it's making it very dull. So I have added the cabbage.